Hello and welcome to your review of the week, a roundup of the top stories on KMTV over the last 7 days. An investigation's underway following a number of gas explosions at a block of flats in Ashford. Kieran Kaur had the details for us on Tuesday.
Yes, well, I'm here on Little Knoll where around 4 or 5 explosions were heard at around 4 yesterday afternoon. Huge plumes of smoke were then seen when a huge fire started. I've spoken to one man who helped save an elderly person from the flames.
There's like an alcove to go into the back gardens where all the building had blew onto the black garden. There was smoke and what have you, and there was an old man that was needed to get out. He could hardly walk, so we had to help him get out.
Members of Kent Fire and Rescue's investigation unit are now at the scene, along with officers from the Borough Council. They, along with the Health and Safety Executive, will be trying to find out what caused the explosions.
A 74-year-old man from Canterbury has been hailed a hero after he died jumping onto a railway line to save a woman who'd fallen from a bridge. David Ashworth, a family friend, was hit by a train near to Chatham station on Tuesday morning. The 38-year-old woman is in a serious but stable condition in hospital. A man has died after an attack involving several men in Chatham on Tuesday. 6 people were in custody on Friday in connection with the death. Jem Collins has the details.
Yes, it was here on Hague Avenue where police were called following a disturbance late on Tuesday evening. A man in his 30s suffered severe head injuries and he's since died after his life support machine was turned off. This is Jem Collins in Chatham for KMTV.
After an 11-year campaign, Dreamland in Margate has finally opened after an hour's delay. Nicola Everett reports.
When Dreamland became run down and closed, there were fears it would never reopen. But after a lengthy campaign to get the site on the seafront back into use, the dreams of local people and enthusiasts have become a reality today.
It means something to everybody, but it means something different to everybody. And that's the reason that's really kept me and my fellow directors at the Dreamland Trust going.
A little later than planned, after a delay of an hour while final touches were being made inside, the gates are finally opened and the first people flooded in. Billed as a reimagined seaside amusement park, it features 17 restored rides and attractions, along with food courts, arcades and a roller disco. Sadly, the world-famous scenic railway wasn't ready in time for today's opening, but will be open soon. Further phases over the coming years will feature even more attractions, including a dance studio and ballroom. So far, it seems to be a hit with those who got tickets for the opening day.
I came here as a child, so it's great to be back, absolutely brilliant.
We've seen this place being rebuilt over the last few years, 10 years really, and it's just wonderful to be here.
I'm feeling excited, but when I went on the ride, it went slow at first, and then it got really fast and really exciting.
We've got a full report and more video from the opening day at KentOnline.co.uk.
In other news, a woman from Ashford's been found guilty of causing the death of a jogger in the town last year by driving dangerously. 49-year-old Linda Jens from Richborough Way is due to be sentenced in a fortnight, but her barrister has pleaded with the judge not to send her to jail, saying she's too overweight to cope with time behind bars. A 38-year-old Who man armed with knives who was filmed being tasered by police in Strood last month has admitted several offences. Miles Priestley from Vidgeon Road pleaded guilty to threatening a person with a blade and assaulting a constable. He's been sent to Crown Court to be sentenced. And residents on the Isle of Grain were blasted by a loud siren on Wednesday. Bosses have been testing a £24,000 alarm that would be used if there's ever an emergency involving the gas import plant there. And finally, Kent's beaten popular destinations in France, Germany and Ibiza to be named the best place in Europe for a family holiday. Jem Collins has more details.
Where would you pick to jet off to a last-minute getaway this summer? Greece?
the south of France? Well, that's what you might think. But apparently, according to the experts at Lonely Planet, people would actually much rather touch down at a train station like this one here in Kent. The county was picked by experts as part of the Lonely Planet's Best in Europe 2015 guide, with its retro beaches and the reopening of Dreamland helping to pip more well-known destinations to the post.
Well, I think we all know how lovely Kent is. We live here, we've chosen to be here. But I think something like this really highlights to residents all the reasons there are to get out and about. And I think particularly the Kent coast has seen a huge renaissance in the last decade with fantastic new family offerings coming to the surface.
But were those on the beaches a little more surprised?
It surprises me, but at the same time, I know it's time to promote Margate, because I think if you look at it today, it's got a different feel to it. So I would say come.
I'd love to go to like Italy, to be honest.
I think this is one of the best because obviously it's got a sandy beach, and obviously they'll be reopening Dreamland, which is stuff to do for the young people and families.
Not a surprise, no. I think it's always been popular with my friends and people that I know. They always come down to the coast.
Either way, though, it looks as if your summer holidays just got a lot less costly. This is Jem Collins in Kent for KMTV.
There's more local news on KMFM, and you can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook, but that's it from KMTV.